Okay, so I'm going to do a really quick unboxing for you guys. It's the highly anticipated leaf mask, particularly this UV leaf mask. Mine arrived the other day. I haven't really gotten further than just sort of taking a quick peek inside and fitting it a little bit, just so I had an idea of what to share with you guys. It comes in an actually quite impressive sturdy box, as you can see, and then when you do open the box, the mask is beautifully set inside. There is this QR code right here. That is actually where you go ahead and just scan it, and you get all these sort of instructions on how to utilize the mask that you've received. Inside the box, underneath the mask, you then end up with this nice sort of carry bag, so that if you don't have to wear it at some point, or you want to put it away but not quite home yet, you can throw it inside the bag. Inside that comes a key. This is to remove the HEPA filter that's inside the front of the mask here, in this grill, little vent. And then inside there is also this little package, and inside that package are two exhaust filters. So on the side of the mask, as you can see, there's this white port, and that white bit of fabric actually is the exhaust filter that's in place. So a lot of companies or places that you go don't like the filter or the one-way valve on the masks, and they're saying that they're not suitable. So this is how Leaf decided to go about giving that as an option. You don't have to have them in. I've just installed them so you can see what they look like on there. When they're out, this is just very clear with the gray scaffolding. And there's just a few little holes that you can see that are actually exposed, so that when you breathe out, it's actually forced to vent out. And that's about that with the leaf mask there. In the front of the mask, as you can see, this is your plug-in port for the UVC cord that comes with it. And basically when it's plugged in, that's when it's going to run the cycle for sterilizing the filter that's underneath here. So to extend the life of the filter, and certainly to help keep it more sanitary for the person who's wearing it. Inside the box at the bottom, there's also two different sizes of cords that are, I guess you could call them the headbands, that stretch around the mask. So they provide you with three different sets. So for three different sizes, small, medium, large, obviously. There was been some reports, I think, with the original masks. This is the second gen. But there had been some reports with the original masks that these snapped, which is actually pretty hard to do. So in researching this mask before purchasing it, I wanted to kind of know a little bit more about it. In my line of work, we're very concerned about COVID-19 and any other sort of pandemic type viruses, for the likes of Ebola and all that kind of stuff, since we're seeing another uprising in that in Africa right now. But the cool part is that this is basically made out of this incredible rubber. And the only way that it really can snap is actually if it gets nicked. So just be super careful with that when you're opening, just in case, or taking it on and off. Don't get it caught on something that could actually maybe just put a tiny nick in it. But it really does require something like a blade to do that. It's apparently impossible to do with fingernails. I'm not going to attempt that because I don't want to ruin what I just got. But I will show you how actually flexible these are, so that you could know that it's going to fit around your head very easily. This is the small size. It's about the same size as my hand, as you can see across. That little band there should be able to stretch around my hand, circle it 3 times. So I figure we should just give it a go and see what happens, because they say it can make it. So let's do that. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3, quite easily. And there's more stretch in it. I mean, yeah, of course that's tight, and it's kind of taking it to the max. But even then, I can still feel like I can get my fingers under there and stretch it. So I don't think there should be a problem with these bands. I really don't. I might lose them to my cat though, and if that's the case, they may not survive. That would be my only concern. So, with that being said, another thing that they mentioned about the mask, if we can get this to come back into focus really quick. Another thing that they had said about the mask is the fact that plugging it in, they would rather you plug in the mask first and then into the power source. So that's just to make sure that if there's any sort of discharge of electricity, it doesn't ruin the system that they have inside there that does the sterilization. So I'm going to unplug this from here just for power purposes. I will plug it in here. It's a UVC charger. They actually give you quite a nice charging cord. It's not one that I feel like I will break in the next 5 minutes, which would be quite possible for me. And as you can see, as soon as I plugged it in, the charging started, and then the sterilization also. They say that those purple lights will start flashing, and when it does that, it's auto regulation for the heat. You don't want to overheat their system. They obviously don't want the mask to melt, nor do they want the sterilization to get too hot. They say just not to hold this up against yourself or like keep your hands in underneath it, because it does have a little bit of an outflow, as you can see on the fabric right there. But other than that, it doesn't take very long. It's not something that you do take off and put down and it sterilizes like I understood it was going to do. But I'll say this, I'm not overly disappointed that it doesn't do that. Obviously you can see it flashing there, and that's that auto regulation for the heat. So it disperses some of that extra heat so that it remains useful for you. I did try it on. It's very comfortable. Wearing masks in my profession is something I've done for a very long time. In the hospitals, you'll see that there's a number of different types of masks available, and people are wearing a ton of different things. But what I like about this is I think it helps facilitate communication. You can actually see the person's face. You can see emotion beyond that of what the eyes can express. Probably make it easier for communication for people who maybe have communication issues or are deaf and need to read some lips. I don't know. I think it's going to work out great. It makes my life a lot easier. Autoimmune compromised. I do not like being out in public at all, even with, you know, some pretty darn good masks that I've had over the course of this pandemic. I've been lucky to have pretty much the best of the best available, just because of what I do. But at the same time, it doesn't make it any easier out in public. I think everybody knows that it's hard to communicate sometimes through masks. People can't hear you very well. They're not quite sure what your intentions are if they can't see what you're doing with your facial expressions. I live down somewhere where it's quite warm, so we here in Vegas may have a baseball cap on and sunglasses, and then you've got a mask on, and it's just everything's covered. And so yeah, it can be very disconcerting because you just don't always know. You can't see a person's intentions, so to speak. So I'm really excited to have this mask. I know that it fits well, it's comfortable. I could wear it for an entire shift. I don't think I would have the same sort of pressure. The way they've designed it, it takes a lot less pressure for this seal to actually just seal against the skin. So having put that on, I can tell you that that is actually true. It barely takes any pressure at all to seal that against your skin and to shape it really nicely. So somebody who has to wear it for a 12-hour shift, I don't think would be as uncomfortable as they've been in other masks. So I'm looking forward to giving this a go, but mostly I'm looking forward to being able to go out in public and being able to participate in life a little bit more without feeling like I'm at as high a risk as I have been in the last year. If you have any questions or anything else, just post the comments below and let me know what you want to know. And maybe I will be able to get you guys up a video of the mask on and fitting it and all that kind of stuff here in the near future. But this is the well-anticipated, long-waited for UVC sterilizing leaf mask. So I would suggest, I mean, yes, it's a little pricey, but I think it's going to keep for a very, very long time. And I would suggest you grab one. Let me know what you guys think.